Okay, so this is, I believe you're asking me what I remember, what was special. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. I'm happy. Well, it's an honor to be part of this. This is 30 years ago, but the memories are quite vivid about Smith Academy and about Coach Webb and about this team. Uh, I loved my time at the Daily Hampshire Gazette covering local sports. It really taught me everything that I know about journalism. I've been teaching, I'm a professor of journalism at Springfield College somehow for 25 years now. But everything that I learned that was of value, I learned at the Gazette. And the biggest thing was just the value of local stories and how important they are, how much this matters in small towns. And Smith Academy was always just a favorite stop whenever there was an opportunity for me to be able to go cover events there. It always made me happy. It always made me happy to call on the phone over and have, I forget the name of the secretary at the desk, always would,
Brenda.
okay, she'd always just say, "Good morning, Smith Academy," in just the cheeriest voice. And you know, obviously Smith Academy is special because it's a tiny school, it's a tiny community. It was always among the smallest, if not the smallest, high school in the state, but it prided itself on excellence in everything that it did. There was, high level of academic excellence, high level of athletic excellence. And the athletic excellence is kind of miraculous because you take a big team sport like field hockey, you need a lot of people. And how is this going to even work? I mean, it's only going to work when you have a community behind it, when you have a heritage and a culture, and when you have a dynamic coach who just brings everybody in and just gives them a sense of discipline and love. And Sherry Webb was an absolute master at this. And so whenever you'd go over to the school, you'd sense this. And this was just such a spirited, intensely driven group of young women. They were fun. They had great personalities. I remember, vividly some of these post-game interviews with people like Mindy Vanelli and Jen Shea and Alyssa Wickles and Devin Vakula. And these names they just fly off the tongue for me. They were just great kids who just cared deeply about each other and about the school and about this team. Uh, so it was fun. Every year they were excellent, and they were always, battling for Western Mass championships and often winning them. And there were some other great programs in Western Mass. And, I certainly remember, seeing like Vi Goodnow's teams at Frontier, and those were special in their own way too. But, these teams at Smith were just great. And I remember how much it brought the community together, just that sense of all those purple and white lawn chairs popping open on the side of the field, and just how excited, how much pride there was, and the parades in the community when there were just great successes with the field hockey team, or like the boys basketball team, which also won state championship teams that I got a chance to cover. Uh, there are, I believe, almost 400 MIAA members in Massachusetts. I know they don't all play field hockey, but it's a large number. And over 20,000 high schools in the United States. And every one of them, has an intensity about it. But I am a big believer in the excellence that can be achieved with great discipline and great, you know, affection in a small environment. I start my own teaching career started before I was at the Gazette, at a little tiny hippy dippy Quaker boarding school in New Hampshire with like 25 students. And that launched me. And I teach at a small college. And I just think that in the right setting with the right people, small places can accomplish huge things. And clearly that happened at Smith Academy. It was really a joy and just fun to be around. I remember, I was so honored when they asked me at the end of the year to keynote at their banquet when they won. It was really very touching. And these people who are part of this team, I mean, they're women now, I imagine, and they're mid to late 40s. It's astonishing to me, but I think that I'm sure that they're still really young at heart. And I can see in Coach Webb's face that that describes her. It always has. Yeah, it's a great thing to celebrate. And it's just a terrific part of Hatfield history, and it belongs in your historical society. So I'm so glad that you're acknowledging that, and really so honored that you reached out to me to talk about it a little bit. I did hear Sherry say it takes a village, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, she was at the center of the village, and they, you know, that gym is named after Sherry A. Webb for a reason. And yeah, it was a tremendous group that achieved something really wonderful.
Even the bus drivers are recalling you writers. It's like, yes, they gave us such a claim. We loved it. So,
well, it was, you know, I'm sure Scott would say the same thing. I mean, Scott, you know, devoted himself to the local sports scene, you know, with such a sense of passion and such interest, and provided such great coverage. And it really was, you know, a privilege. I know I felt that way. I know I'm sure I speak for him in that regard as well. All right. Well, I'm glad we were able to get this together to do this, Marcia.
Yes.
Great to see you, Scott. Sherry,
Thank you
great
so
to see
much.
you.
Marty. You
And
bet.
do take care.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Mom.
Thank you.